Sometimes the day of closing is always an interesting, fun day where you have to do a lot of just discussion to make sure things are going as they should go. AI is not able just to put together all these different pieces and to understand when something is maybe not right or broken over here. When you look at the economics of a $900 car payment, someone is going to be literally, unfortunately, buried in that car as their financial coffin. This client and I were on the phone last night at 9:30 and this morning at 7:30 because this global Outlook outage that happened last night, the closing package was delayed like 4 hours to get sent over. So luckily my team stayed up till like 9:30, 10, sent the package over, but they couldn't communicate till this morning right before the client had to sign. And he works in Texas, so we're just trying to make sure that they're happy when they're here to get this all buttoned up. So I'm hoping they're going to call me so I can get this all good and where they're going to be completely happy again. So sometimes the day at closing is always an interesting, fun day where you have to do a lot of just discussion to make sure things are going as they should go. AI is not able just to put together all these different pieces and to understand when something is maybe not right or broken over here, how to go about fixing it, making the right connections. And luckily, all the people that are on my team, I've got their hot 911 numbers in my pocket. So last night I was making calls till about 10 o'clock to the closing team. Luckily, because this closer loves me, she helped get the package out last night once everything came back up. So I was lucky to get that done. Otherwise, this wouldn't have probably happened until Monday. And then with this polar vortex coming Monday, who knows if Monday's even going to happen in the title and mortgage world. So it'll be good to get this wrapped up today, hopefully. I think a lot can happen because what's interesting is even today, you've got the potential for the Fed chairman to be changing. You've got Fed meeting about policy. You've got the bond market reacting in a certain way to tariffs. You've got the weather out there in Northeast Ohio especially. So things can literally change on a dime. And you know what I always tell people is like preparation is worth so much. If you're prepared and ready to go, you can anticipate these changes, you can avoid stress. So there is a document that the client signed at the closing table that has the county they're buying the property. It's listed in a couple pages. And earlier the county was listed as Lake County, which is wrong. It should be Stark County. The client wants to make sure that they're doing everything right and have that it shows Stark County and all the places they've got to sign. So it's just a one-page document, and I'm going to make sure it's done the right way. So make sure that way there's no recording issues with the mortgage later and everything's good. This deal is going to get fixed. As a matter of fact, it's already fixed. I just have to indicate to the client that they do not need to sign anything else, that what we did is an appropriate fix, and I'll communicate that to the title company and the customer, and we are 100% good to go. So closing and funding are different things. Closing is when they physically sign. Funding is when they record at the title company with the county. Hopefully they can still get this thing over to the county to actually file today so these people can get their keys and they'll be all set. So I think we'll be all good to go, and this was a good example of just kind of following through with things to make sure it's all done. Yeah. I'm seeing the $900 car payment absolutely decimate people financially, and for a lot of reasons. I think what's happened is that everybody's gotten accustomed to this, and they're being sold a bill of goods that this $50, $60, $70, $80, $90,000 car with every single gadget, widget, seat heater, mirror heater, platinum program. I think everybody is being tricked into these higher car payments, and I think it's crushing people. When you look at the economics of a $900 car payment over 50, 60, 70, 84 months, I'm hearing 10-year car loans, someone is going to be literally, unfortunately, buried in that car as their financial coffin. And what I'm seeing on the mortgage side is that these high car payments are limiting someone's buying power and their capacity, because simply stated, that $900 car payment compared to a car payment that used to be $350, $400 just a few years back, it is now going to be eating into their monthly budget to where they can't afford to, forget about buying a house a minute. Let's put that to the side. Now they can't invest, they can't save, they can't prepare for education, they can't go on vacations. I think it's eating into people's budgets big time. So I think what needs to happen is we all need to push back and say we're no longer going to deal with these high car payments. These car dealers have to really figure out that people need great transportation that's reliable without every single piece of leather and carbon fiber, and we're still going to be okay. When I had my first vehicle that I bought when I was a young guy, my car payment was $138.91 payable to U.S. Bank. I'll never forget that number. It was my first responsible car payment. and my truck had a 5-speed, no air conditioning, and a plastic floor. It wasn't even a carpet floor because that's what I could afford being a college kid. And that truck lasted me 7 years. So I think we've all just gotten soft, and it's crimping our finances big time. In the world of adulting, having auto pay turned on is a great checkbox to click, because all of us mean well, but we're forgetful and we're very busy. Any late payment on credit, especially with a vehicle or a credit card, can decimate your chances either to get approved for a house or to get the rate you deserve. And with a low credit score and late payments, you're not going to get top tier rates. You're going to get bottom tier rates, which is going to inflate your payment and make things worse. So do the big thing, do the adulting, turn on auto pay. If you can't afford to auto pay it, you probably shouldn't buy it. If you've got equity in your home and you're getting overdraft fees from your bank, stop. You should be restructuring your finances, looking at your home equity as a tool and an advantage to fix whatever problem's going on. If it's a budget problem and your budget is just too high and you need to compress that and save money and pay less interest, you should refinance today. Stop paying hundreds of dollars in overdraft charges. And by the way, overdraft charges lead to higher interest rates, higher checking rates. It just makes things a mess. If you're considering buying a house, I would look to do it now, and here's why. If interest rates come down in the future, I wouldn't wait, because it's going to create another feeding frenzy. It's going to cause values to further escalate. If it were me and I was considering buying a house, I would try to do it before the summer market and before the government moves numbers around again and maybe lowers rates, because when that happens, there's going to be more competition, increased prices, and higher monthly payments. It has gotten so easy to grab our mobile phones and hit a button, whether we're at the office, we're at the house, at a friend's house, whatever it is, and we're door dashing. Guys, look at your DoorDash bills. If you're spending $58 for a $28 meal that you could have either prepared yourself or gone down to the local store and picked up yourself and saved all the fees, let's be smart about this. Don't let the convenience of DoorDash ruin your financial budget. Let's get this right again. Let's cook at home. Let's do some meal prepping, get our families together, and let's stop paying DoorDash all this cash. Most lenders out there are going to tell or recommend you to stop your write-offs. They don't like the write-offs that you're doing on your taxes. You're trying to survive and run a business and be profitable, so the write-offs are yours to take. I love write-offs, and here's why. We look at things completely differently out of the box compared to most lenders. We're looking at how stable the business is, what income sources the business has, and really what the income really is coming into the business. We can give you usually a 30 to 40% lift in your buying power without you needing to call your accountant and skip those deductions. And why would you want to pay more taxes anyway? I am right now putting together a spring bus tour. We're going to go out and meet new builders and look at new homes and see what the construction opportunity is for us to partner and for you to grow your business and help your clients.